Welcome to Pathfinder Bible Experience videos. Today we're going to have part one of our interview with Anitha Thavamani. Hi Pathfinders, this is Pastor Gene, and I have the privilege of meeting today with the coach for the Beltsville Broncos Pathfinder Club and their Pathfinder Bible Experience team, Anitha Thavamani. Anitha, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you, Pastor.
How long have the Beltsville Broncos Pathfinders been participating in the Pathfinder Bible Experience program?
The Beltsville Broncos have been part of PBE since it started. So there were kids here in the very first PBE experience. I believe this is the 9th year of PBE. And every year there has been teams from Beltsville Broncos attending the division level of Pathfinders. We've had up to 6 teams participating in the Pathfinder Bible Experience. This year we were 3 teams, but every year there are definitely multiple teams that are participating.
When does your Pathfinder Bible Experience year begin?
We start end of August when we, along with our Pathfinder year. So last week in August is the first time we meet together.
And what do you do when you start working with your team?
Before I start in August, I have a pretty much idea about how the chapters are going to be divided, and also I'm ready with the resources. And so when we meet together, it is pretty much like a meet and greet. We worship. It's usually Friday evening, so it's Sabbath opening. We have a small worship as we start. And in the beginning of the year, I split the chapters for the groups, and we work on having a team integration before they actually get in working into the team atmosphere. So it's general studying, getting together. That's how our year starts.
What other resources do you use in the training and learning process?
Yes, that's very important. We recognize that all the kids learn with different ways. So we try to have a material that will make it easy for whatever learning style each child has. So by the time we start, I will be preparing it over the summer. First thing is I have a audio CD. My son, he helps me with this. So we will have audio CDs of the sections that, however I separate it, they can listen to it on their way to school and back, or make it a habit to hear it every day. So that's for audio learners. So I take the chapters and I put together, I don't know if it may not be visible, just the first letters of every word in that verse. So I make the whole of all the chapters the first letters, and so those things, we have it there. That has been a very, very beneficial tool for kids in memorizing the verses. And then I have fill in the blanks. I take out most of the important words, just leaving words like of, the, and, just those basic words, and I take out all the other words from the verses and have blanks in their place. This we use as a review tool, and after they memorize, they don't fill the blanks in with pencil. They just keep it and read as if the words are in there. So when they review that way, that helps for them. I don't give all the material at a time. So when we start, the CDs are the first things I give. And then they would be reading. When they have the CD, they listen and read simultaneously. For each of our Pathfinders in our club, when they join, we give the Pathfinder Bible. So everyone has the Pathfinder Bible already. And they read and they follow it in their Bible while listening. So they are using multiple intelligences to review. And then after audio, I give them the first letters when they start memorizing with it. Some kids don't use it, but it's not a compulsion. They have the tools, it's their choice to use it or not. Repeated reading helps them with the memorization too. And then after the first letters, I give them the fill in the blanks to review. And after the fill in the blanks, questions are the last things we go to. And I am blessed with coaches who can prepare and be helpful in these regards. And so the questions, we give them a packet of questions, all of them in a file put together, and end of November they have the questions in hand to review with. And other than that, there are also other methods I teach them, because some of them are kinesthetic learners, so they can draw the verses. As we study, I help them to see how they can draw pictures of every word that is in there. So that helps them to remember. The pictures come to their mind and they have the verse in the memorized. And also sections where we can look at it as a category. I help them to see the outline, categorizing it, and that makes sense to them. And also when we meet, I ask them to come up with questions they have. Maybe there's some vocabulary words that is hard for them. It doesn't make sense. But when we explain the background, it all fits in. The puzzles are clear now. So we do that. And assessments. Once we got our basics in, I start giving them some assessments, and these assessments help them to test themselves. Sometimes they think they have got it all, but then when we ask a question, it triggers a different type of thought process. And so that helps them to assess themselves and know where they stand and how they have to move on forward.
That's our program for today. Join us next week for part 2 of our interview with Anitha Thavamani. This is Pastor G.